Man, boy, the Super Bowl was lovely. It really was. To see, I don't know, it just, I was just thinking, like, the Super Bowl and, like, that Brad Pitt ad just seems like everybody seems to be a mind frame of agreement right now. It's been a long time since I've seen that, since probably 2001, honestly. But also, I've been watching these Democrat politicians, and golly, they're just making they're making total asses of themselves. Uh, they they've just become this super obnoxious group of robber barons. They're robber barons. There's just no other term. I mean, I just feel like there's no other term for it. I mean, they are so crooked now, and the idea that anybody's going to mess with the cash cow, they're willing to die on that hill. I mean, everything else is a negotiation, but when it comes to U.S. aid and their sweetheart, their setups, their gangsterization of the government. I mean, these are thugs. Like that Maxine Waters, the way she was talking to that security guard made me want to throw up. It was the most disgusting, dehumanized. Like the way she was speaking to that guy. Look up, give me your ID. This, that. You talk to these. I mean, she was just ordering this guy around, and if that guy had talked to her that way, they would put his ass in prison. They would put that man in prison. They would call him a racist, because that woman's a straight up racist. And it's raging. She's just out of her mind. They're all out of their mind. And they've just shown, they're not in government to do good. They're in government to do well. To do well for themselves. They don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about our money. They just, I mean, like we're at deficit spending, and they have a problem with cutting spending. We're in deficit spending. We're in the hole, $36 trillion, and these people think it's like a crime to cut spending. It's like, you do realize that like 4 years ago, we weren't spending that. They're insane. They've lost their minds. And I mean, if they keep going this way, I just don't see people sticking around, and like they have their base, their hooligans that they that are back them still. But at some point, those people are going to walk away too. And I heard like the other day one of them saying, that the judiciary is our last refuge, because they have no power. They've been stripped of their power. They have zero power. They can't subpoena anybody. They can't do anything. They can't even get in the Department of Education. So, but what they're doing essentially is going to their crooked judge friends, like this crooked ass local judge that they rustled up, who isn't even a regular judge. He works on Fridays or something. He takes over the dockets for the weekend or something. And they get this guy to put a stay on, so that the Secretary of Treasury can't look over the books of the Treasury. I mean, you can see how existential this is for them, that somebody is going over the books, and somebody that's good at it, because they are freaking out. And all this U.S. aid stuff, I mean, it's not good, and they know it's not good. But they're willing to die on this hill, and I feel like they might die on this hill. They might die on this hill. um, I could see the Democrats just going defunct. And it's so funny because I heard Chuck Schumer say that they should change the Democrat Party to the Democratic Party. And now this really irks me when I hear them refer to themselves as the Democratic Party, because they're not democratic. They aren't democratic. They don't choose their leaders by democracy. They don't choose they don't run their primaries with democracy. They are antithetical to democracy. And I think it is fitting that they remain Democrats, the same Democrats from the Civil War, the same Democrats that have been around for almost 200 years. I think that's who they are to the core of them. They are the same people that they were. Black folks call it the Democrat plantation. Man, if that isn't an awesome euphemism, I don't know what is, because it that's exactly what it is. It was an agrarian plantation before the Civil War, and it's just become a bureaucratic plantation ever since then. Seriously. And I'm glad to see it go. I'm glad to see them barking and screaming and hollering, and because it's really taken the mask off. People realize it's hard to deny what they are now, because they have they've nobody really has to make an argument against them. They make the argument themselves by the way they act. Even James Carville, even he thinks they're nuts. And he's not my favorite at all. I remember him on Crossfire in the 90s. Thought he was an ass. I actually somewhat like him now. Wow. That wasn't even plugged in. Nice. Nice. Yeah, but I'm pleased, I've said it for years that that party should just be disbanded. They seem to be anti-American, and they've seemed to be antithetical to anything American. Like I think there should be a liberal party, and I agree with the liberal parties of the world quite often, and I see their side of it. But the Democrats, man, that party is just, well, first of all, it's crooked as a barrel of snakes. And they've just become outrageous. They're on the wrong side of every single issue. They could not be more against us as the American people than they are now. They could not. It's like every single issue, they're on the wrong side of it. They won't come to the table to cut government spending, which we have to do, whether we like it or not. And they freak out because Gaza's not going to get condoms, because there's not going to be transgender surgeries in Sri Lanka or Guatemala. This is close to insanity. This is close to insanity, group captain. It's just nuts. It's nuts. And finally, it's totally been our consent has been manufactured. USAID has had its tentacles strangulating democracy in strangling every democracy in the world by basically funding their propaganda arm in every country. They funded the BBC, Politico. They're funding all this stuff, and these are the same outlets that they use as sources. So they're totally it has been nothing but a way for them to spin narratives. They are the ultimate propagandists. They have become Joseph Goebbels would he would be in awe right now at the machine that they have built for themselves. And God, I mean, I'm so here for the end of this machine. So here for it. Hope you guys are too. Anyway, I just last night felt really good. The Super Bowl. Seeing all that unity and stuff, and it's funny because Trump said he wanted to be a unifier, and I think most people just kind of laughed at that. But he's turned out to be much more of a unifier than anybody would have expected, and it's rather surprising. It's pretty awesome, really. I mean, I'm glad. He's my president whether I like it or not, and just like every other president. But anyway, hope y'all are having a good one. Hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. And until next time, guys, y'all take it easy.